I don't know all the details with it. I know he started running. He's been throwing. But as far as getting into his workouts and his drops and footwork, he hasn't done any of that yet. But, we don't know. It's just really hard to tell until we get back at it. I know his mentality is he's going to be back and be back early. But you wouldn't expect anything less out of Chad than that.
How about the offensive line and going without Dalton Freeman, Ryan Norton? I mean,
Yeah. With Dalton being out, well, what a great leader. I mean, I think he holds a record for the most snaps of anybody in a Clemson uniform in the offensive line. And so, I think that's right. But what a great leader that we lost in Dalton. But have Ryan Norton and Jay Guillermo behind them has been good. It was interesting to watch those guys compete in fall. Neither one of them are where we need them to be right now. But the leadership there is they're relying on the upperclassmen. They're relying on your Brandon Thomas and your Tyler Shadley to be that leader, and that's okay. And hey, look, just get the ball to my quarterback. That's the main job. You get it to him without him chasing the ball everywhere, we'll get along just fine. And those guys are going to do a great job for us. I'm excited about the future of those two young men.
At center, is that a position that you want to see leadership more? I mean,
you would like that because they're in the middle. Obviously, they can see it all, and it'll come with time. It will. It'll come with time. They're working hard. I do know that. Just talking to everybody. So I think that'll come with time. Will it be there by fall camp? Will it be there by the Georgia? I don't know. We'll wait and see. I mean, it's just again, we've got to strain them as much as we possibly can to check them out.
After the spring Matt Quayne had, how's he coming on for this fall? What are you expecting out of him?
Eric, we moved into the offensive line in the middle of the year last year. Played some tackle for us, a lot of tackle for us in the fall, or in the spring, I'm sorry. Did a good job. I think he realized what he had to work on. And so I expect Eric to contribute somewhere in our offensive line. I really do. How much and where, I don't know yet. I don't think he'll be a center, so kind of, so he'll be a guard or tackle. But he's going to give us some depth, which is great. He's over 300 pounds, right at 300 right now. Strong, athletic. I think Eric's a guy that's, he's going to be a guy that we'll be talking about before this thing's all over with.
Keep him on the right side?
Well, yeah. I mean, right now, we were looking at him at guard, obviously tackle. It's just kind of where he feels comfortable at. We've tried to put him on the right side, and again, with a young guy like that, really hadn't played in the offensive line much, the last thing you want to do is move him. Get him somewhere, keep him stationary. But I expect him to be a guy that's going to contribute.
I'm guessing 6 guys or receivers probably not going to be enough for the course of the season. Is that kind of y'all's thing?
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, you've got, obviously you've got Martavis, you've got Sharon, you've got Sammy, you've got Adam. There's 4. You've got G-Hop, that's 5. And you got Matt Porter, that's 6. And then you got our young guys that are in. And, so you kind of think that maybe one of those young guys is going to have to play. I don't know, but one of the things that we did this spring is we were, we worked guys at other positions at the receiver spot. For example, Sammy was able to work a lot into the boundary. Sharon worked into the boundary and also worked a lot to the field. Martavius obviously been into the boundary. So we've got some guys that can move. Adam Humphries has the capability of playing any of those. So again, it's I think you're going to see one of those guys possibly. I don't know if you'll see them all.
Some of you guys are still waiting on free street.
Right.
You just talk about the added comfort level, especially with breaking in a new center that you have with a left tackle like Thomas out and Brandon out there that's very physically gifted as well as a ton of experience in the league.
Well, Brandon is talented enough and can play guard. Brandon can play anywhere in there. He can play guard, he can play center, or tackle. And that's what, that's the great thing about, Brandon. But you would like to be able to say that Isaiah Battle is far enough along. We tried this last spring. We had this conversation last spring. You were hoping after you watched the LSU game that Isaiah Battle was going to come in, have a great spring, take over the left tackle. Brandon Thomas was going to be able to move, maybe a guard, challenge and push some of these other young guys, and it never materialized. We wanted it more than he did. We hope that after him going through spring, get through summer and into fall camp, that would be the most logical thing, that Isaiah steps up, takes over, and now you've got the capability of moving a Brandon Thomas into a guard position to challenge some of these other guys up front. That would make you, if you said, hey, give me my most athletic group of guys, that would be it. But Brandon allows us that flexibility, and I'm expecting great things out of Brandon Thomas this year. And in fact, I shared that with him yesterday. And I think this is going to be his best year of football ever. I really do. I'm excited for him.
What would, if there's a way to quantify Battle securing that spot, is there a way to quantify what that would take that line to, what number?